just witnessed me shaping the headstocks on the spindle sander. Oh, the dog wants to come in. Come on in. Coming in. Seat yourself. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I've shaped these on the spindle sander, and what I have left to do on the shape is to put in the moustache, this little divot in there. So I'll do that once I've thicknessed the headstock, once I've got that down to the right thickness. Now, normally I would drill my tuner holes at this point, but annoyingly these tuners I'm using, which are Goto top locking vintage style tuners, annoyingly they require imperial size holes, which I don't have the right bits for, so I'm going to have to order the right bits and then drill those later. So I shall thickness the headstocks first. Anyway, the reason why I normally thickness the headstocks after drilling the tuner holes is because if there is any tear out on the other side, it doesn't matter because this is oversized, so any tear out will just be sanded away. So what I'll do this time round is drill pilot holes once the headstock is the right size, and then when I've got the right drill bits, I'll drill from the top and then from the underneath. So to thickness the back of the headstock, I'm going to be doing it on the spindle sander again. Now what I'm going to do is use a block of wood that I know to be square, and I'm going to use that as a fence. I'm going to clamp it on both sides to the bed of the spindle sander, and I'm going to place it so it is exactly the right distance for the thickness of my headstock away from the sanding bobbin. And then I'm going to push the headstock through, and then it's going to end up at the right thickness. And I need to push it through so it is exactly square on this piece of wood. But one issue that I will have, the fretboard is fouling the block there, so that means that it's not going to go through square. So what I normally do to stop that causing a problem is stick a piece of wood that I know the thickness of to the headstock, and then the fretboard is no longer going to foul that block. But that means that I need to move this block of wood, the desired thickness of my headstock, plus that extra little block of wood away from here. So my headstock is 15mm, and that little piece of mahogany I was using as a shim is about 3.5mm. So I need to place this block 18.5mm away from this bobbin. So something that's quite important to mention about these spindle sanders is that the bobbin is spinning anti-clockwise. So I've got the fence set up on the left hand side, and I'm feeding the work in from that side so that the bobbin is spinning towards the work. And if it was to jump out of my hand, it would be pushing the work away. Whereas if I feed it in from the right hand side, then if it was to get away from me, it would pull the work in and potentially sand further than I want to, which could potentially ruin the shape of the headstock. So it's always important to sand against the work. Right, so now that I've put in most of the shape of the headstock, I'm just going to file in the little moustache shape and just kind of finish this top off here. And I've just got these are really cheap, these little jeweler's files. They're like £5 I think, but they've lasted me 18 months or so. I use them for everything, mother of pearl, this job, and they just work really well. So I'm just going to basically mark down the center of the headstock, and that's going to be where the moustache is going to start. And then I'm using a little triangular shaped file, and I'm just going to put in a little dent in there. So now that I've got my dent in there, now I just need to round over both sides of it nicely. And I've got to check the back often to make sure that the back looks square with the front, otherwise it will just look weird. Just going to flip it around, see what it looks like from the other side. It's a bit more awkward coming from the back because the angle's the other way around and it's sloping towards me. But you do definitely need to file from the back as well, otherwise you'll find that the back looks nothing like the front. So I've got the headstocks all shaped then. See a little moustache in there. And on this one. I remember when I first started building, first couple of guitars, I didn't have the spindle sander, and I swear this job used to take about 3 hours to rough this out with a bandsaw and then file this shape down. But with a spindle sander, it took what, maybe 5 minutes to do this job. I think it takes longer to change the bobbins over than it does to actually get the shapes right. And then about probably another 10 minutes to get this shape right. So I highly recommend spindle sanders. So in the next episode, fret slots.